Hi there, it's Mary from stampingmary.stampinup.net. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today's project is a small gift box, and I'm featuring the Sparkle of the Season bundle, which is featured on page 58 of the Stampin' Up mini catalogue. This is the page here, and the bundle features the stamp set. That's this one, Sparkle of the Season. Yeah, and the seasonal swirls dies, which are featured in that very pretty card image right there. So we're going to make something sort of similar to that. So let me show you the box. So it's a very simple box to make, but very effective. There's no stamping, just some scoring, cutting and die cutting. So this is the, take the belly band off. Go. Doesn't want to come off. There we go. And this is the actual box, so it folds out nice and easy, really good size for all sorts of gifts or treats, and then the belly band just slides back on, and with the wreath at the back there. So I've used two of the two different dies for this wreath. I've already gone ahead and cut them actually, but I used this one, so a slightly bigger one, and then the smaller one here, this one right here, that one right there. Actually, that's incorrect. I used just one. I used just one wreath, and I've cut it out twice. So I've cut it out using the shaded spruce cardstock right there, and then this is the craft paper, which we have in our mini catalogue as well. If you haven't seen it, it's 6x6, this craft paper. It's great. So yeah, I've gone ahead and cut out just that die there, just twice in the two colours. And this die set also has these adorable little pine cones, stamp and the die. That's them there, and I cut them out on crumb cake actually. And then the beautiful little holly leaves. There's two different dies for these. One will cut out the larger one, and another one for the smaller ones. Really effective. But anyway, let me show you the box. So we'll pop that out of the way. Come to that later. The box is super easy. So what you'll need is a piece of cardstock. Now I'm using Real Red, and this measures 10 inches by 8 inches. And you also need a piece of designer series paper for the band, and I'm using the Hostess set paper actually. This is the Party Patterns designer series paper. I like that the black with the little white leaf on it, and this one measures 11 inches by 2.5. So let's bring in our scoring tool. I'll put all the dimensions in the description bar below actually, so you don't have to write anything down. So on that 10-inch side, the long inch side, we're going to score it 2, 3 1/4, 6 3/4, and 8. And we're going to turn it round to that 8-inch side, and we're going to score it at 1, 2 1/4, 5 3/4, and 7. Grab your bone folder, fold and burnish all of those score lines. Okay, now this is where you do the cutting. There's a little bit of cutting, but it's not complicated. So at each end you've got that wider piece, that 2-inch end. That's the end that you want to start on. So with that larger 2-inch end facing you, you're going to come and cut down right hand side, cut that right away, right up to that score line, and cut this one away. So just to give you a visual, we're going to be cutting away that one, that square. Down the other end, we're going to cut that square and that square. Then come up to here. I'm cutting on the outside piece of the score line actually. Cut that one, and then wedge that one in. And that's what each end's going to look like. So we'll do the same thing over here. Cut to the other side of that score line. Cut this one up. Come over to here. Cut up to there. Cut that one off, we don't need that at all. And then wedge in that one. That's what it's going to look like. That's the end, so that's the part that will fold up. Okay, so let's come and do the other end. Same thing. Cut away completely that entire square. Come up to here. Cut that one. A little bit of a wedge in there. Same on the other side. It looks complicated, but really it's not. It's very, very easy. The only trick is to make sure you don't cut that whole tab off. When I was making it the first few times, I must admit I did do that by mistake. But no, you need to keep that tab because that's what folds in to make the box. Right, so if you want to take a little quick look at that one, that's what it's going to look like. So those long wider ends there at the end, and these other ones fold in like that. So you've got your four tabs here, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are what we are going to put our adhesive on. But before we do that, this is optional, you don't have to do this. I just like the ends to be rounded. So I'm bringing in my corner punch, and on these two wider ends, I'm going to punch on with my corner rounder. Again, you don't have to do this. It's completely optional, but it does look, does give the box a nice finish. Oops, that one didn't go properly. Nice one. Go. So on these four corners is where you're going to put your adhesive. I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus. You need a strong adhesive on these ones. I tend not to use my liquid glue because it can get a little bit messy. And all we're going to do now is fold all of these tabs in. So with that narrowest fold, that one comes up there to there. The other one comes in. Other side, fold this one, this end to here. That one goes in there. And it sits together just perfectly. And then these just sit in like that, and that folds down. And that's all there is to it. So when you open it up, you've got that nice little shape right there. And then the belly band, all I'm doing is just going to wrap it round, the paper round, and just bringing it in. So not that it's, I don't want it to be too tight that it doesn't come off, but you don't want it sliding off when you pick up the box either. So just firm enough to be able to take off. So I'm just giving it a gentle squeeze on the edges there, and then bring in my bone folder and give those folds a nice crease so that it wraps around nicely. It's a really good size gift box too. Not too big, not too small. And some tape on here. There you have it. Done. Doesn't matter which way I send that. I put that paper, it's not directional, so there you go. I love it. I love that black and white against the real red of the cardstock. Now for my decorations, as I said, I've punched out 2 of these dies. Actually, I did use both of them. What am I talking about? I used the 2 different ones there. There's 2 different dies. There's 3 dies actually. There's a third one that has the little, that one right there, it's got the little stars on it. Very cute. So putting it together just takes a little bit of patience with your tombow. So I'm just going to layer one on top of the other, just slightly overlapping. So at the bottom of these dies, there's a little, well, not this one, but on the bottom of this crumb cake one, there's a little, like a bow, you could call it, and that's what I want to have at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit of glue on these leaf images, the wider ones, so this has got something to adhere to. And just going to place it over, just so it overlaps. Hopefully I've got everything in the right place. Actually, it probably would be better to put it on here, wouldn't it? That's a better idea. If you use the adhesive sheets, that would work as well. For these. Doesn't really matter where you get that placement, as long as oh, go in there. As long as you leave it to set and don't pick it up like I just did. Right, and the little, I'm going to use my glue dots now for the pine cones, and I'm just going to dot them around. And I'm leaving everything on my silicone mat because I know that everything will come up, lift up from there without any tearing or ripping the paper. One down there. These pine cones are very cute little dies. And then my little, I might just put the holly on with a little bit of tombow, I think. One up here. Again, that box, even if you just want to make the box and just wrap one of our really pretty ribbons around it and a sentiment, you're done really, because it's so easy to, as you can see, it's a pretty easy box to make. Red rhinestones, real red rhinestones to finish. Of course. Must have some real red rhinestones on this wreath. Dotting them around wherever I feel the need. 2 more on. Maybe here. Okay. Go. The magic of the silicone mat, which I need to have back for a second. Now putting it on, because I don't want, because this sits a little bit wider over the paper here, I just want to make sure that I'm not sticking the image down onto the actual red piece, otherwise the belly band won't come off. So I'm just making sure I'm only putting my glue, my adhesive, where it won't, a little bit up there, it won't stop the band coming off. And there's the bottom. There we go. There you have it. So I've just kept my adhesive, so it's only plate on the paper. And lastly but not least, must have one of these gingham bows. This is the gingham ribbon, black and white gingham ribbon. Oh, this is such good ribbon. If you haven't got some already, I have put a link in the description bar below to all the products I've used, and including this ribbon, because really it's a must-have for the season. Who doesn't like gingham? Surely everyone does. Glue dot. And just put it there. And there you have it. Pretty simple, pretty easy to make box actually. Once you've made a couple, you'll be making these all the time, I'm sure. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that video. I have put a link to all the products I've used in the description bar below, as well as all the dimensions. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me, stampingmary@gmail.com. That's MERRY. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.